Welcome, everybody, to this week's Standout Women Live. I'm your host, Michelle B Griffin, and this is the show that helps you get visible and grow your industry influence. Today, I'm delighted to have on the show an amazing friend connection, someone all the way up from Canada, who she's here to spread her wisdom and brilliance about being confident in your style and mid-career. So, welcome to the show, Renee Lindo.
Thank you so much, Michelle. I have been dying to have this conversation. I'm so excited to chat. So thanks for having
Absolutely.
me.
Absolutely. You and I have been connections on LinkedIn a couple years now. And when we had our pre-call last week, we're like, I feel like I know you. Like, that's the
Yes.
beauty of LinkedIn and just
Yes.
being, out there, putting yourself out there and being true to you. But today we're talking about mid-career. This month we're talking about personal evolution. And for mid-career, the season where you're either expanding to your own business, looking for different roles, or whatever it is, you sometimes get stuck in a rut and maybe feel a little bit unconfident. So, before we jump into the show topic, tell everybody who haven't met you yet exactly what you do. And then we're going to get into how to rock a confident style in mid career.
Sure. So I'm Renee Lindo. I'm a personal and brand stylist. And so I help professionals to use their style as a tool to increase their visibility, expand career opportunities, and make more money. And we do this by aligning their image with their personal brand. So we create polished outfits and functional wardrobes that really speak to who you are so you can show up confidently for all that you want to attract and achieve.
Well, brilliant. You and I both share a vision of helping women get visible and feeling confident in our respected areas of expertise. So we have so much to gel on and to
Yes.
talk about. But first, let's get into this. You're in mid-career, which is such a beautiful season. I wrote last week, what's the best season? Not the fourth season, the season of mid-career.
Yes.
Second act, the B
Yes.
side, which our mutual friend Julie Ciardi calls. There's so many ways to spin it, but it's just beginning. You
Yes.
posted an article last week on Forbes where Gen X women are just getting starting. They're starting businesses. They're going, the Forbes 50 over 50. There are so many opportunities for 40 plus. So we want to be confident. We want to look good,
Absolutely.
feel good. So
Absolutely.
where do we start, Renee?
I think, and that's such a big point, right? And we've been socialized, or the whole argument or the narrative out there is that kind of like after 50, you kind of go to pasture. And that is so not where I am, right? I believe, as you had mentioned, that 50 is just a new beginning. It is a new season. And so much is out there for us to achieve. We have all this experience that we've gotten through our careers. And so where you start, you really have to think about your style goals. How do you want to show up in the world? What message do you want to send? Because I really believe that our style is a powerful tool. It's a tool for communication. It's a tool to say who you are. It's a tool to introduce yourself. It's a way of even speaking to yourself. So I think we need to start with really spending some time and thinking about, from this next phase or for this next chapter, this new season, what do I want to say about me? How do I want to feel? How do I want to show up? And that's really the starting point. It's not, and I have to say, it's not going out and buying a whole new wardrobe. It's not going out and starting to buy clothes, because we need to really be clear on what are we dressing for, right? What are we showing up for?
That you bring up a good point. Don't just rush out. It's like building a brand. Don't just rush out and get colors and logo. We got to start with the foundation. And even before that, the mindset. Kind of really
Exactly.
check where you are. And I like to say sometimes in this point in life, time can erase our identity. We're
Yeah.
doing all the things with family. Sometimes we're taking care of elderly parents,
Yeah.
kids, you name it, juggling all the roles, and you're just in a blur of life. One day you
Yeah.
look up, look around, oh my goodness, here I
Yes.
am now.
Exactly. And that,
Where
and
am
as
I?
women who are midlife, sometimes when we look up, we're like, oh my gosh, I have this new body. How do I dress this body? Right?
Yes.
Our bodies have changed, and we've aged, matured, things change, life changes. And it's so important that we also you know, accept this body that we have and just learn how to dress it well so that we feel good, and not hold on to, oh my God, 20 pounds ago, I used to wear this, or I used to be able to do
Yes.
this. But just, we age and we grow and things change, and there's weight distribution and all of that's happening as we age. So just understanding how to dress this new body and finding pieces that fit you well, that you feel comfortable in, that you feel confident wearing. And I encourage clients to, it's don't beat yourself up and talk about your body, this, that. We can find clothes that fit your body. Okay.
It is incredible how many, just the right clothes that fit you the right way can make a huge difference, not only the way you look,
Absolutely.
but how you feel and how you project. Because your
Yeah.
style, when we talk style, it's not just about having some, XYZ wardrobe or name brand. It's simply the skin you're in, the shell of the skin, so you can
Yes.
project. And
Yes,
it's a
exactly.
part of you. And so
It
it's
is a
so
part of you. It's
important.
the outward
Yeah.
representation of who you are, right?
Yeah.
So it's much more than just buying clothes. And as I said, don't just rush out and buy, because what happens is that it just becomes more clothes that you're adding to an already full closet. Because I know so many people, their closet is full, but they feel like, oh my God, I still can't find anything that I like,
Yes.
anything that fits well that I want to wear. So let me buy some more stuff. And I really encourage you to pause, but to really be thoughtful before you do that.
That's where someone like you is so important, because before, you're wasting a lot of time, energy, and
And money.
money. Yeah, and money. How many times we're all guilty of this, raising
Yes.
hands here, buying something
Yes.
that looks so cute, you don't really know, and then you never want to wear it. And it's like,
Right.
and then you don't want to get rid of it. And so then you're drowning in stuff. So let's just
Right.
wipe the slate clean.
Right.
This is a new
Exactly.
start. So now we know why confidence is so important with your style. It projects you, especially mid-career. So we're empowered now. We know why it's important. Now we're going to get into, I believe you have this incredible framework that
Oh,
is the style story, I believe, a
yes.
5-step process that you've taught me. And I want you to please share with our listeners and our viewers, because it is an incredible framework roadmap you take your clients through.
Sure. Well, thank you. Yes, it's the framework I created. We all have a story. And when it comes to our style, I call it our style story. It's how we communicate. It's, before people know anything about you, they see you, right? And they see your style. So just like any story or movie that you're watching or reading, there are a few key elements that really make your story memorable and consistent. And similarly with your style. So the first step, or the first component of your style story is, and I'm using S, story, for style story. So the first piece is S. You want style clarity. So you want to really think about, just like a movie, or before you make this movie, you have to be clear. What is this movie going to be about? What is the story going to be about? So you really want to be thoughtful about what is your style going to be about, as I mentioned earlier. How do you want to move through the world? What style words resonate with you? Right. So that's the first piece, is the S.
Mm-hmm.
And then the T, you want to tailor your closet. So every story happens somewhere. It happens in a scene. And for your style, it's your closet. This is where your story comes to life. So you want to ensure that you get rid of the pieces that are no
Yes.
longer your vibe. Right. As we're transitioning in mid-career. Maybe your job has changed. Maybe it's a new industry. Maybe you're going retirement, whatever that is. But get rid of the pieces that you no longer wear. That's no longer you. So you want to tailor your closet. Then we have the O. Every story, movie, there's a main character. Similarly with your
Mm-hmm.
style. And the O is you want to own your body shape. Our bodies
Oh,
change over time. We've
own
talked
it.
about,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So
Be
own
happy in
your
the skin
shape.
you're in.
Understand
Yes.
understand how to dress this body shape. We may have gained weight. There may be weight redistribution. So maybe you didn't have a tummy before, but sometimes as we get older, there's tummy, there are arms we don't like, whatever that is. There are ways that you can accentuate your assets, balance your proportions, and really feel good in the clothing that you're wearing. STOR. So R is the next phase of the framework. And that's to refresh your closet. Add some, so you've cleared out your closet, you have some gaps, add some new pieces. I'm not saying you're going to buy everything new, but just some few new pieces, especially that we're in fall. And so the weather is changing. We want to refresh. And when I talk about closets, a functional closet, 80% are closet basics, wardrobe basics. You're only adding a few new key pieces to
Mm-hmm.
make you feel fresh, to make you feel current. And we're not talking about trendy. We're talking about being current. So you want to refresh your closet with some key pieces. And then Y is your spice, your sauce, right? This
Love
is
it.
how you add your personality to your story. If the movie or the book was just about you or one person, that would be kind of boring. So you have the supporting cast, and that's your spice and your sauce, and that's your colors. Think about what colors look great on your
Mhm.
skin. Think about your accessories, right? And how you can use your accessories. So, and I find that when I take clients through this framework and ensure that all of the STORY, that we follow all of those steps, it really allows us to create a compelling style story, confident, consistent, so that as you're building out your brand and your style really is the packaging of your brand, people, there's familiarity, right?
Yes.
You're not one day and another way. There's some consistency there. So I find that that story is really helpful and gets
I love
clients.
it. I'm so glad you have a framework because it can be so overwhelming. I want to shout
Yes.
out to our friend Jihan. She
Hi,
says, be
G.
clear. What are you dressing for? And start with the foundation. Love this. G, if you're listening, okay, so I have to tell you this little backstory. A couple of weeks ago, G and I were talking about something, and I don't know where it came from. I think she said something about wearing pink, and she says I could never wear it. Then she showed me this picture of her back in the day wearing pink and silver, and why she claimed she could never wear it. And
Oh,
then I brought up the thing. Do you remember? I'm probably dating myself, but do you remember in the 80s? The book Color Me Beautiful, where you had to go with your season. Like you
yes,
had to be in the season, and God forbid if you went out of season, that was
yes,
it. And I think that's ingrained in
yes,
some of us
yes,
mid career women
yeah,
that because I would say I could never wear pink. And here I am, not today, but sometimes wearing hot pink.
yeah,
And
yeah.
so what do you say to that when we have these preconceived notions of what we look good in? And granted, some people maybe don't look good in colors, but
Right.
what's your
Yeah.
thoughts on that, Renee?
Yeah, I think there's some colors that look great on some people and some that may not be your best colors, but I also encourage you not to just X out a complete color because there are different shades. So remember, maybe a lighter color, a lighter shade or lighter hue in that color could work for you. So me, yellow. Like you love yellow.
Hmm.
Yellow is probably not one of my best colors, like this bright yellow that's your brand color, but I can wear more of like a mustard yellow, right?
Yes.
That's a warmer color, warmer yellow. And so that works well on my skin tone. So I think we just, and a good way to check is to just hold the color up to your face and look and see what does it do to your skin? Does it make your skin look alive? Does it make your eyes pop and the whites of your eyes shine? Does your skin look glowy? Or does it drain all of the color out of your face? Because that can happen as well. I know
Hmm.
everybody loves black. Black is
Yes.
slimming, but I have to tell you, black is probably not the best color for many people because it's so harsh. Sometimes when you put black up, you can instantly see the color just kind of drain out of someone's face.
Yeah.
So I just encourage you to think of that. And if it's a color that you like, maybe you wear it on the bottom half of your body. Maybe you wear it for a
Mm.
pant or a skirt, right? And wear something
Yes.
else that brightens up your face.
Like an undershirt, because you're wearing a white blazer, you could wear the pop of
Yeah.
color underneath that. So I
Yes,
love that.
exactly. For
Yes.
sure. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
shout out to Jillian. Let's see. She was
Hi,
there. She
Jillian.
says, I love compelling story style. Style
Oh,
story.
nice.
Style story. Yes. I'm like, you need to, I
Awesome.
love that. I love that. So yes, my brain latched onto that as well. Hello, Kathy. I remember that. Yes, I think G's in the comments talking about it. Mid-career woman. Yes. I think, okay. If only, hey, G, if you could put that, I don't know if you want to share it, but she shared that picture with me, and I'm like, you look adorable. She says, LOL, my high school choir dress, hot pink tulle with silver sequins bodice that traumatized me for
Oh
life. I
no.
love that you love that picture, Michelle. Yes, I think we're harder on ourselves, Renee,
Yes.
especially as we
Yeah.
get to mid-career,
Yes.
and
I
sometimes maybe
agree.
if the weight creeps on and then you
Yes.
just feel really down. And I
Yeah.
don't know about you, but I have had ups and downs in my wardrobe, and I've cleared out. I cannot tell you, since I became my own business owner and I'm not, no longer hosting conferences and going all this more buttoned up B2B professional services, I got rid of so much. And I tell you, that was
Yes.
kind of painful. So,
Yes.
how do we handle
I
getting
know.
rid of stuff that no
I
longer
know.
serves us?
You know, it can be painful, and I hear that a lot, especially if it's suits that you spent a lot of money on. And I went through the same thing because I went from corporate to an entrepreneur, and so I had, a big closet of expensive suits. And so as an entrepreneur, every time I went in my closet was filled, but I was not reaching for a suit. I wanted to wear different clothes. So I really encourage you to think about, getting rid of those items that don't serve your lifestyle. How you live is a big part of your wardrobe. So, instead of having this many options with your suits, it really comes down to just having these options. So you think you have options, but you really don't. So I encourage you to really think about, how do I live? How often am I doing this activity, and what do I need? And those are the items that you should keep in your closet. And think about it this way: it's okay to donate clothes that you spent money on.
Yes.
It's okay to gift great things to other people, because they will give it new life. They will be able to use it where you're not. Right. So
You know,
I
that's
Go ahead.
true. I was gonna say donate it to charity. I remember that reminds me, until they closed, I would haul my mom lives in New Orleans half the time, so I hauled so much clothes
Oh,
to there's certain thrift store. New Orleans was
yeah.
all about the Louisiana Society Prevention and Cruelty of Animals, a humane society,
Oh,
basically. Like,
yeah.
oh, well, then they can have it, right? So
Yeah.
it helped the cause.
Right.
So I
Right.
think donating it is a good
Yes.
thing, or dress for
Absolutely.
success. For
Yes.
women,
Another one.
that's another noble place, so
That's
other
another one
women
for
can
sure.
use it. I love that
They
paying
can use
forward.
it, right? Because we
Yeah.
really, as entrepreneurs or business owners, we can more or less decide what we want to wear and how we are most comfortable. And if the
Yes.
suit, my thing is, every piece of clothing in your closet, they need to work. They can't just be there taking up space, right? Your closet is prime real estate. And so anything that comes in there, you have to be able to wear it a few different ways. You don't want to just have one hit wonders.
Yes.
You want to be able to use it different ways, wear it to work, for play, reimagine it and wear it differently, so that it's worth its weight, right?
Absolutely. Well, I have 2 questions on that. First of all, let me ask the first one. Do you remember I bring this up all the time, but do you and maybe they still do. I used to be like in Glamour, Mademoiselle, the Women's, or even growing up in 17 magazine, they used to have, here's your core pieces and develop 30 outfits for the month. Do you subscribe to that with your clients?
So I like to so it depends on the clients, right? Because some clients really want a pared down type of capsule or a pared down wardrobe, where they don't want a lot of pieces. They want quality pieces that they can wear different ways. So I like to work in what I call modules, where
Mm.
I'll give you 2 bottoms, 3 tops, and an over piece. And with those 6 pieces, we can make 12 or 13 outfits, right? Some
Mhm.
people like that. And then I have others so I'll create a few a few modules, and then each of those modules also work together. So with 2 or 3 modules, you can end up with having almost 50 different outfits, but you have maybe, what's that, 12, 20 pieces, right? Or 15 pieces. So it really, when you're intentional about the pieces in your closet, you can wear, you change your shoe, or you change a top, wear a skirt instead of a pair of pants. So different ways that you can be intentional with the pieces that are in the module, so that when you reimagine them, it gives you options. So I do like that. Now, there are some things that I think you're talking about, like a capsule wardrobe, where you
Yes,
have
the
to have these
capsule.
pieces.
Yes.
Black pants, the striped shirt, the khaki trench coat. No, I don't. I think it for me. So when I do capsule wardrobes, they don't look like what you see everywhere else, because I really think your style is about you. What if I don't like button downs? Right? I have
Yeah.
some clients who have a very full chest, so a button down doesn't work as well, because it's going to pull across her chest. So I really believe that the idea is there. I believe a capsule wardrobe should be a wardrobe that it's your pieces that you wear often, that you can mix and match. They're your wardrobe, your core pieces, but they're going to be different for everyone. So that's how I do it.
Oh, I like that because I don't want to be limiting. No size fits all,
Yes,
right? We don't have a cookie
yes,
cutter as long as you're
yes,
rocking the
exactly, right?
wardrobe.
Our style
Exactly.
is individual. It's about
Yeah.
us and who we are.
Yeah, very cool. So now that we know all about the importance of confidence, you don't in our style, why it's important, we don't have to subscribe to the old narratives. There's
Yeah,
so many ways to look good, so many different styles, budgets. We don't want to be trendy, we want to be
right.
current. Now,
Exactly.
how do we do it? I know you work with your clients virtually and in person, but how one now that you've taken us through your framework, what's the next step?
How do you not be trendy? So I have a whole thing on trends. Trends is not a bad word. I know people are like, oh, trendy, trendy. But I think the importance of trends, I think it's important that are we are aware of the trends so that we can be current, especially if you're in a professional situation, if you're looking for a job, if you're interviewing, if you're even pitching yourself, because your style and how you show up, as I said, it's communication, right?
Mhm.
So what you're communicating when you are current and you look relevant and modern, it shows that you're with it. You have your finger on the pulse. You are up to date in your industry. Remember, you're communicating, right? And if when you show up dated, it also communicates that I wonder if they're really up to date, if they know what's up with the industry, if they're up with the latest technology and tools. um it may not be communicated, people may not say that, but it's subconscious, right? We pick up all these cues. And as an example, I had a lawyer I was working with, and I was saying, okay, so what are we, talked about what she wanted for her style. And so I said, are we doing suits? She said, and the type of law she practiced, she says, no, I find if I'm wearing people who are wearing suits in my type of law, they actually look dated. She said they
Mm,
look like they are not with it. They look like her word was, they look behind the times. And that's so
hmm.
important that you keep up, right? The world has changed. What we're wearing to work has also changed.
Yes,
How we're showing up is changed. And so it's important that you understand your industry expectations. Understand what are people wearing in your industry. You can still look professional without being a buttoned up three-piece suit, right? So it's how we do that. So your question was, how do we do that? You really want to, be aware of what's happening. What are you maybe follow some people who you like, whose style you admire, and see what they're wearing. Watch news, the TV, Instagram, LinkedIn, what have you, just to be aware of what's happening and what the latest is. No, you don't have to buy all the latest trends. That's not what I'm saying, because that's not sustainable.
mm-mm.
And you don't want to be trendy. You just think about, okay, if you see something that's a new trend, how does that match with your personal style? How does
Yes,
that Do you like it? If it wasn't trending, would you still wear it? Does it fit your style, personality? Does it work with what you already have in your closet? Because you don't want to buy a piece and then you take home and it doesn't work, and you have to buy more pieces to make this one piece work, right? So
absolutely.
you want to be thoughtful about that as well. So add some new pieces, look at the trends. Would you wear it if it wasn't trending? Do you like it? Is it a great color for you? Does it match your style, personality? And then go for it. And then, if you're not quite sure, don't invest on a expensive one. There's always going to be at all price points. Try
Yep.
something a little lower price, see if you like it, and then invest if you decide to.
I also have found that at this point, I like classic current,
Yes,
and I'm going if something just feels right to me, when you just put something on, it's just like classic elegance,
for
whatever. I'm
sure.
like, I don't care. I feel
Yes,
good in it. So it
absolutely.
exudes more than some trendy thing. And I try not to
Yeah.
buy trendy stuff,
And
especially
that is such a big
expensive
point,
trendy.
right? Because
Yes.
it's your comfort and it's what you're comfortable in. I put one of my posts, I think I had on like an orange top and kind of like a rust pant. I think I did it last week. And somebody commented and says, "Ooh, I love that outfit. Where can I get it?" And I'm like, okay, those pants are at least 10 years old. That
Yes.
top is at least 5. So, buy things that you love, buy things that are great color on you that you really love, and so you will wear them all the time.
Yes. I have stuff that I keep over time, and there's some stuff that just flew out
Yeah.
the window, but and some things that I've kept, I'm like, "Oh, I'm so glad I did," because you compare it with the current
Yes.
top. So, I even
Yes.
told you before we went live, I love looking in vintage shops. Now I'm not talking like costume vintagey, just
Right.
like really cool stuff like from the
Yeah.
60s or 70s
Yeah.
that just exude style and
Yes.
that fit. Like, oh, I love a little touch of vintage. I'm always looking for that when I go out of town
I
and
love that.
travel.
And
Yeah,
great. And that's a
yeah,
part of your personality, right? So if you add even
yeah.
a vintage piece to your classic, you said you're a really classic, to your classic ensemble, and you have a vintage piece. That's how you develop your style. That is how you
Yes.
create your signature style. That is how you become memorable, right? Because that's a part of the framework. That's the why, your sauce, your spice.
And it has a story because I even have some things from my mom she's given me over the time, like when she had this cool belt from, college, or I bought this, I like to buy stuff that even has a story attached to it, like going back to your
Ah,
story, and I'll tell people, and
yes,
it's a conversation piece. So anyway, you just find what rocks you
yes,
and you feel good and all the things. And so as we wrap up today, Renee, you've been so informative in how to do all this. Are there any particular sites that you recommend or places that we can kind of just go see what's out there? I love some of those before you answer, I love some of those what are they wearing now Instagram
yeah,
accounts, like in New
yes,
York, Paris,
yeah,
whatever. I love seeing
yeah,
the flash
yeah,
of that. But where would
yeah.
you recommend?
Yeah. So Pinterest is a great place to start. I think
Mhm.
Pinterest is an awesome resource. I always share with my clients as well. So think about it. How you use Pinterest is kind of put in the words that resonate with you in terms of your style. Put that in the search bar, and be sure you put the year 2024 so you get current, and then see what comes up. And then when you see that, then I'd say even create a style board for yourself and pin the pieces that resonate with you. And so you get a good idea of your style and what really speaks to you. So I love Pinterest for that. Definitely IG, right? IG,
Mhm.
there are lots of fashion people and style people sharing stuff. Now the hauls can get tiring, right? They all
Mhm.
these hauls all the time, but just look for the influencers that you enjoy. The what are they wearing daily is a good site.
Mhm. Mhm.
In Style, Vogue is another good one I love to watch. And then know that New York Fashion Week is going on.
Yeah.
Check
Right
out some
now.
of that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Just to have an idea of what is going on. And then me with my community, I'm sharing fall trends and going through the
Yes.
trends and talking about how should you wear this trend? Should you not wear this trend? Does this work for you? Does it not work for you? And then kind of figuring that out as well. So
Well, that's a good segue into where can people follow you, check you out to learn more. And I know you do one-on-one, you do workshops, you do all the things. So tell us where that can be.
yes, awesome. Well, I actually have a fall style kickoff happening in a couple weeks, September 23rd. I'm doing a fall style kickoff. It'll be really helping professionals to get clear on their style story, understand the trends. This is for me, not how do you make sense of the trends, and then how to put outfits together, create outfits that feel like you, that are polished. So reach me. I'm on LinkedIn a lot, so you can always find me on LinkedIn, on IG,
And your
and
website is what is your website?
letsgetdressednow.com.
Yeah, that's easy. Let's get dressed. Before we close out, we have a great question. And also want to shout out if you're listening live or the replay, and we didn't get to a question or you're seeing this later, tag us, ask a question.
Yes,
We will come back. So thank you so much. But
absolutely.
Yolanda asks, is there such thing as classic style? It's a great question, Yolanda.
Yes, I think there is a style genre that's called classic that just tends to be more clean, more streamlined. That was actually one of the words that resonated with me for my style a few years ago. My style has kind of evolved. But classic style, if you think of kind of Banana Republic, that tends to be seen as classic style. So the lines are very straight lines, very almost tailored, but not too tailored. So,
Mhm.
simple lining. So that's what I'd say classic style is. And
I
if you
saw
think of
Ralph.
Kate Middleton, her style is
Yes.
Classic.
Yes, she's very
Right? That's an
classic, and I
example.
saw Ralph Lauren just came out with the whole Americana line,
Yes.
during Fashion Week, which was super cool,
Yes.
so it's kinda
Yeah.
bordering on that. So this has been so helpful, so empowering, and gave us some really good tips on how to start rocking your style. So thank you so much,
Yes,
Renee,
and
for
look, to stand
joining
out,
us.
right? Because you want to
Yes.
stand out, right? And use your style as that tool to help you. We're going to work with Michelle and get and do all the other things to stand out, but then also remember that your style is a
Part of it.
tool
Yes.
that helps you with that as well.
And we both help women get confident. And that's
Yeah,
the main thing. When you feel confident, when you look good, you feel good. Oh, the world is your
absolutely.
oyster. So
And you do good.
thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks,
All right,
Michelle.
everybody. Until next week, keep putting yourself out there. You have a brand to build, a message to share, and people to impact. I'll catch you next time. Take care.